Hey, what is up guys? My name is True Underdog, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Juri. I'm going to go ahead and show you all of her moves and give you a breakdown of her character overall. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, we got to find her scene. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around here. Yep, there she is. Okay, I found her. Took me a little bit, but I finally found her. So let's go ahead and do it. We're going to play on normal so the AI doesn't move around too much and doesn't try to kill me too hard. Alrighty dog, so for the format of this video, we're going to go over the normals first, then we're going to do the special moves, and then we're going to do the V system, and finally we're going to end with the super move, or the critical art as it's called in Street Fighther V. But I don't care, I'm always going to call it a super. Okay, so normals first. Now most of our normals are the far-reaching ones from Street Fighther IV, so we have the light kicks, the light punches, the medium punches are pretty dang good too, although crouching medium punch is no longer an anti-air, but it does have pretty good range in front of her. Her throws are also pretty similar, pretty tried and true. Let me do a forward one, I just did the back one twice. Okie dokie. And her walk speed is also really good, her forward walk especially. Her backwards walk, it's okay. I can see it avoiding some tick throws and stuff like that. Her jump is also really good because it's very shallow. And that's a big thing for me, honestly. You may be asking why. It's because it's very hard to mess up the cross-up, although I just did there. She also has an air throw if I can grab Rashid out of the sky. I probably can't. Nah, it's hard. Rashid's the hardest character to air throw, there we go. He jumps very fast, Rashid, but she has an air throw, which is nice because her dive kick is no longer here. Anyway, let's finish the normals real quick, okay? We have standing heavy punch, very good range, and then we have crouching heavy punch, which is an amazing anti-air. I'm so glad it's back. Next we have standing heavy kick, which is actually faster than it was in Street Fighther IV, and still has the same range, so it's a very good move. Oh, it's okay if he kills me. We're gonna keep going with Juri. And then of course we have crouching heavy kick, which is pretty dang good range. It's a good sweep. I like it. Oh, standing heavy kick is crush counter, and so is crouching heavy punch. Just so we're all aware of that. And I lose the first round, but you know what? We're going right back in. Okay, so that covers the normals as far as the ground, but in the air, she still has her jumping heavy kick, which is great. Her jumping medium kick still crosses up, which is also really good. I like that. Her jumping light kick can also cross up, but it's got a smaller hitbox. The only thing that's missing is her neutral jump heavy kick, which I'm very salty about. It used to be like Chun-Li's, there was a giant splits in the air that hit on both sides. That's sadly gone. Same with her jumping heavy punch, it's a lot different now. Now it kind of hits above her, so it's more of an air-to-air. Used to it hit straight down below her, so it's pretty good for fake cross-ups, or very, very sharp cross-ups. So it was very ambiguous and hard for the opponent to block. Instead we have jumping medium kick, which is still very good. Dang Rashid, why are you trying so hard, man? Calm down. Calm down, calm down. Oh my goodness, he's not gonna calm down. Okay, so as far as her unique attacks go, she still has her forward medium kick overhead, which is great, and she has a new move, which is her back heavy kick. This is very similar to her close standing heavy kick in Street Fighther IV. Hits twice and can actually be comboed after, although it's a little bit difficult because I got her really close to the opponent's face. She also has a new target combo, which is standing medium punch and then forward heavy punch, but the opponent has to be standing to show it off, so let me go ahead and try to show that to the best of my ability. Rashid's honestly trying quite hard to kill me. Okay, he has to be standing for this to work, that's the problem. See, otherwise it whiffs. There you go. And that can actually be comboed after with a special move, or with her V skill. So that's pretty dang cool. Okay, she also has a target combo in the sky, but that's going to be very hard for me to show off. I'll show it on the command list, but I'm not sure if I can actually do it on the opponent. So right here, it's medium punch, heavy kick. Now I've honestly never been able to do it on the opponent. There you go, okay, I did it just then. So what's nice about that attack string is you can do it on grounded opponents, so it's a double overhead, which is very sneaky for jump-ins. Really good threat, honestly. Ibuki used to have that, but they slowed it down a lot, so she can't actually do it. The nice thing is that Juri still can. She can do that double hitting overhead, which is going to catch a lot of opponents off guard. Now it seems to cause a knockdown, so that's pretty good. You can't combo after it, but it's still a really dirty shenanigan. Alright dogs, let me double check real quick. I'm pretty sure it's all of her normals and all of her unique attacks, but I gotta make sure. Now her back heavy kick might also be an overhead, but I'm not quite sure. Although you can combo after it, which is very good. Okay, so next we have the special moves. Now keep in mind I cannot pronounce any of these, so Fuharenkaku, I'm gonna call this her fireball motion, and then Tensiren, I'm gonna call her pinwheel, and then Ryo Densatsu, I'm gonna call her flip kick, because I cannot say these like for the life of me. Instead, I have my little nicknames for them, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Tensiren, which is her pinwheel. Now, unlike before, when it was down back kick, it's now a dragon punch. Now, each version does more damage and hits more in the air. So be aware of that. It's pretty cool. The heavy kick is the most flashy. Now just like other Shoryuken motions, it's very unsafe if blocked, so it's more of a combo ender. It's not a very good anti-air I've found, so you don't want to use it on jump ins. And the EX version does the most damage, but if I use it right now, I'll actually kill Rashid, so let's go ahead and let him win. It actually doesn't matter who has more health. If the time runs out at all, you actually lose, which is kind of fascinating. I'm glad it never happened to me in story mode. I would have been pretty salty about that. Let's go ahead and show off the EX version if we can. So we have light pinwheel, 2 hits, medium 3 hits, and heavy is 4. Yeah, and then EX is actually 5 hits. So let me try and get the meter for that. Now the EX version actually does the most damage and is likely invincible on startup, so it might be a pretty good wake up and reversal attack. I'm not sure yet, there's no way to test it, but I have a good feeling about it. Okay, so next we have her Fireball. Although keep in mind, it's not nearly the same as it was before. They actually changed it quite a lot, and it's going to be a bit hard to explain with Rashid breathing down my neck, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, so the light version, the medium version, and the heavy version all look the same. However, if you look near my V gauge, you can see I have 3 new images down there. Each one represents a different strength of the attack that I stored up. So I have the light version and the medium version and the heavy version stored up. Now if you do the input again, you get a different attack because of this. So the light version is a Fireball. It's a very slow Fireball, it's good for cross-ups on Wake Up and other sneaky stuff like that. You can also combo into it and after it, which is pretty cool. Next we have the medium version. The medium version could be an overhead, I'm not sure. What I do know is that if it connects, you can actually combo after it, which is pretty crazy stuff. And last we have the heavy version. Now the heavy version is like Karen's attack, right? She scoots forward and does a decent amount of damage. It's a great way to end your combos. I like it quite a lot. Okay, timer's out once again. We still have time for the EX version. Now the EX version actually does the most damage and is the best way to end combos. I like it a lot. It's also a great way to end combos if you don't have anything stored up. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm pretty sure all 3 versions will actually absorb fireballs, which is pretty cool. And they also count as a hit on their own. But if you have them stored up, you can do some pretty crazy stuff. Let's see if I can get anything to happen. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. It's pretty cool, right? I just spent 2 of them, but I got a pretty crazy combo out of it. And in fact, I could have started the combo off with the medium version and actually got a full combo that way as well. So pretty crazy stuff. If she stores them all up, she has some of the best combos in the game as far as how easy they are and how much damage you get out of them. Because they're not really links at that point. They're not that difficult. They're honestly more like attack strings at that point. You put the whole thing in and it comes out. Alrighty, so next we have her Flip Kick. Now this move she stole straight from Chun-Li. Probably hits overhead, although I'm not sure. What I do know is it causes a knockdown when it hits and does pretty good damage. It also goes over fireballs, I hope. We have no real way of knowing because Rashid's fireballs are too unique, and I'm also dead. Thanks a lot, Rashid. But that's the light version. Now obviously as you go up in the strengths, you get a further reaching attack. So the light version has the least range, medium version has better range, and heavy version has the best range, with the exclusion of the EX. Now the EX version is quite interesting. It has the best reach, but it also launches the opponent so you can follow up with heavy pinwheel, which is what I recommend. Does a lot of damage. Now you can probably do EX pinwheel also, but I have no idea how much damage that does or if it's worth it. All I do know is it's a very good attack. Now it might be unsafe on block because it has amazing range. Now what I find truly fascinating is you actually can combo into it after crouching heavy punch, so it's got a lot of unique options there. Pretty good combo potential with this move. Like I said before, I really do hope it goes over projectiles, although I'm not sure, and I also think it might hit overhead, but I'm not sure about that either. Now with the exception of the EX version, you cannot combo after it, but it's still pretty decent damage and you get the knockdown. So overall a pretty dang good move. As I mentioned earlier, she no longer has her dive kick, so let's go ahead and move on to her V system. Alrighty, so first off we have her V skill. Now her V skill is pretty straightforward. It crosses up and causes a knockdown if it hits. That being said, if it doesn't cross up, it whiffs completely. So it's actually pretty easy to mess up if you're not careful. Plus if you knock the opponent down, they're going to expect the cross up if they're a smart player. So I imagine it's unsafe on block and very risky to do in most situations because you can't cancel it into anything. So if you mess up and the opponent blocks it, you're in a lot of trouble. Now that being said, it builds a pretty good amount of V gauge and you can combo into it after certain attack strings. Now if you hold it down all the way, it has full screen range and actually hits the opponent as it goes through them and then hits them after the cross up as well. So it ends up hitting 2 times instead of 1 and builds a lot more V gauge. As you can see, I already have V trigger, so let's go ahead and see what that can do. Now, by default, it's like the Feng Shui engine from Street Fighter IV. I can cancel my attacks into other attacks and get a pretty good amount of damage, although I messed it up there because I tried to do pinwheel and the pinwheel input is different. Now, the nice thing about this is that you can do pretty crazy combos, but I'm not very good at it, guys, so I apologize for that. I honestly couldn't use the Feng Shui engine even in Street Fighter IV, which is why I stuck with her Ultra 2. I just wasn't very good at it. However, pro players loved the Feng Shui engine because they could do really clever and creative combos that did a lot of damage. It's honestly all about memorizing the input. However, that's not all her V trigger actually does, so I'm going to go ahead and build it again. So, just to reiterate, the V skill is pretty good. It's a guaranteed cross-up. You can combo into it, and it's pretty good against opponents who are knocked down and don't know the matchup very well. It does not go through projectiles, and if fully held down, it does more damage, goes full screen, and builds more V gauge. So that's your advantages there. If you want to build the V gauge faster, then this is a good move to have. Just make sure you always combo into it, because I bet it's unsafe if blocked, especially when you consider it's a free cross-up. It likely is unsafe on block. Alrighty, there we go, we have V trigger. Now on top of the Feng Shui engine, which lets you cancel all your normals into each other, you also get the ability to do all of her kicks without having to store anything. So I have the fireballs for free. I can have 2 on screen too, I didn't know that. Wow, I can have like as many as I want on screen at the same time? That's pretty nuts. But also, as you saw, it just drained my V gauge very quickly. Okay, so one more time just to show off what her V trigger can do, and if we have enough health, we're going to show off the super as well if we get the chance. Go ahead and hit me, you son of a bitch. There we go. So let me show it a little bit better. So all of my moves now no longer require me to store anything. So the heavy version, the medium version, and the light version are all mine free of charge, which means better combos, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. That doesn't combo, does it? Oh, it does. That's nuts. Wow. You can do some crazy stuff, you guys, because it actually comboed. Crouching heavy punch into her overhead actually comboed, and the overhead combos into her crouching medium kick, which then combos into her projectile, which then combos into the heavy version. Oh man, you can do some crazy stuff in V-Trigger. That being said, that combo would cost you all of your bar, so that's the issue there. There we go, we have it. Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure it's down, back, kick. Here we go. Now look at this hitbox. Oh, he jumped over it, son of a bitch. Yeah, it's a pretty big hitbox, but at the height of their jump, they actually can avoid it. So I whiffed on the first attempt, but I have footage of me actually landing it, so go ahead and check that out. As you can see, a very big hitbox. It's almost instant with the projectile, and it does a lot of damage too. So it's honestly a really good super. My only issue is that it doesn't have any animation when it hits, and that bugs me. Not because it's Juri, but because all 3 of the recent DLC characters have that problem. There's no animation for when you actually land the attack, and that bugs the hell out of me. It really bothers me quite a lot. Okay, one more. There we go, okay. I'm gonna combo into it this time, so he can't avoid it. I'm gonna try to, that's the plan. Here we go. Oh, baby. It actually didn't kill. So when you combo into it, it's not quite as damaging, but also keep in mind that attacks do less damage when the opponent's lower on health in this game. Okay, so we covered her super, and her normals, and her unique attacks, and her V system. So now I want to talk about the pros and cons of Juri. So the pros are that her normals are amazing, really good range, good job keeping the opponent at bay, right? You can keep them away, got really good normals, crazy stuff like that, good anti-air too, amazing anti-air, honestly. Oh, not against stuff like that though. Stuff like that's still gonna win. She can also cancel her crouching medium kick, which is pretty rare for Street Fighter V actually. Ah, I can't show it off though because it keeps moving. Yeah, but she can cancel that, so pretty cool stuff. I want to try and combo into all 3 of these. It's gonna be tough though. Wish me luck. Oh, it doesn't let me, okay. So the fireball actually didn't connect in time, so I couldn't cancel that into her heavy version, which is what I wanted to do. It doesn't seem to all combo, even in the corner, so I guess that's a pretty good nerf. Otherwise, Juri would be pretty OP. Okay, so with all that stuff out of the way, I have some huge gripes with Juri. The main one is how to end her combos. None of her special moves actually reach after most of her short links, so if I did like standing medium punch into crouching jab, I actually can't end that combo, nothing reaches. And if I do jab jab into special move, none of my special moves there will reach either. The only one that would reach would be her flip kick, and that doesn't combo in time, it's not fast enough. Dang it, Rashid, why'd you jump right in front of me? Now you're dead, and I gotta go back to the main menu, son of a bitch. But yeah, back to what I was saying. None of her special moves have enough reach in front of her to actually finish her links. Now if you just do like normal special move, then yeah, it reaches. But if you want to do an actual combo and do actual hit confirms, you're gonna have a really hard time comboing with Juri as she is now. So I really hope they give her moves that have better reach in front of her, or maybe just don't push the opponent so far back when she hits them, Any solution like that would be very appreciated because as it stands right now, I don't know how to end most of her combos. The only time she can do any decent combos is if she has at least 2 storages, right? So she can do the fireball into the heavy or the fireball into the EX fireball, and that's a pretty decent combo. But that's all you can really do, and you need meter for that. Or at the very least you need to store 2 fireballs, and that's pretty tricky, especially during an actual match. So I want to see some way for her to end combos in the future, because right now it's just jab jab into nothing. It's like back heavy kick jab into nothing, right? No real way to finish the combo. Really tricky stuff. You can finish it with pinwheel, but that's really hard to do for a lot of players to finish with a Shoryuken, especially after a jab. As it stands right now, you gotta cancel most of her normals into her pinwheel, which is a big risk because it's very unsafe, so for a hit confirm, you really don't want to do that. I'd prefer to end her combos with the fireball, but the problem with that is it doesn't have very good forward range, so a lot of the time it doesn't actually combo. Not after a link. You can do like just, you know, jump in, then normal, and then cancel into it. That reaches, but otherwise you're gonna have a hard time. And that's my biggest issue right now with Juri. Outside of that, amazing normals, really good special moves, pretty good V system too, honestly. Very tried and true to how she was in Street Fighter IV. A V skill, it's pretty good, but then again, not super useful, but at the same time, a lot of characters in this game get around without their V skill anyway. So it's still good to be there. And her super does a lot of damage, and it looks pretty dang cool, and it's going to be very useful in an actual match. So yep dogs, if all you wanted was a breakdown, then I guess this video's over. Please leave a like down below if you enjoyed it, and while you're down there go ahead and post a comment too and tell me what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more videos because we have content on this channel every single week. It's never a dull moment on Underdog Gaming, so make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.